Planning to move or invest in Northern Cyprus? Don't make a single financial move before watching this. I will walk you through the taxes that no one explains, but everyone needs to know. Most people invest in Northern Cyprus without fully understanding the benefits of the taxation system as well as the risks. In this video, I will uncover 7 most important tax topics that need to be considered while buying a property here in Northern Cyprus, particularly relevant to the investors, foreigners, and immigrants. My dear friends, I'm not a tax advisor, but if required, I can connect you with local experts, lawyers, and tax consultants. This video is just for your general overview to help you understand and decide whether Northern Cyprus is the right place for you to invest. The first and my favorite one is the income tax. There is a zero income tax on foreign earned money. So if you live here in Northern Cyprus, and it doesn't matter how many days per year you stay over here, whether you have a residency or do not, you do not pay any income tax for the money you earn abroad. This makes Northern Cyprus a very attractive destination for the pensioners as well as remote workers that live off their income from abroad. Inheritance tax. Here in Northern Cyprus, we have a flat rate of 1% for the inheritance tax. But there are exemptions. The amount that exempt from the taxation is equivalent to 10 million Turkish lira or just over 200,000 euros. So flat rate of 1% is paid on the amount above that exemption amount. Things that count when it comes to inheritance tax are vehicles, immovable property, bank accounts, or any other valuable assets located within TRNC. One more thing to know, my dear friends, is that there is a zero gift tax rate here in Northern Cyprus. So let's say if you decide to transfer the property into your child's name during your lifetime, there would be 0 taxes applicable. The only fee that you would need to pay is the transfer fee to Land Registry office based on the cadastral value of the property. Property tax. I strongly believe that we have the lowest property tax rate here in Northern Cyprus comparing to the rest of the world. We pay only 1.85 Turkish lira per square meter per year if the property does not exceed 120 square meters in size. If the property exceeds 120 square meters in size, then we pay 2 Turkish lira per square meter. So that way, let's say an apartment of 120 square meters in size, the tax that's applicable would be 220 Turkish lira per year, which is just over 5 euros. In Northern Cyprus, we also do not have any foreign exchange control, meaning that you can transfer and exchange the currencies and freely manage your profits in foreign currencies such as euros, dollars, and pounds with no taxes being applicable, which is a major advantage in turn for the international investors as well as expats. Another important tax to take into account is the capital gain tax here in Northern Cyprus. We have a flat rate of 2.8% that is applicable, okay, when you're selling your property. But there are 2 important things to consider. First of all, 2.8% tax is based rather on the cadastral value of the property on the moment of sale than the actual contract of sale price, okay? That's one thing. And second of all, we still have those cases when people manage to sell the property, but they haven't had the contract registered with the government and taxes paid. In that case scenario, they wouldn't be expected to pay any taxes at all. There would be a 0 tax rate applicable. But, I do have to warn you about the fact that it does contradict the current regulations because by law here in TRNC, you have to get your contract registered and taxes paid once you acquire a property within 21 days. Okay, that's something to note. Rental income tax. Here in Northern Cyprus, the rate of rental income tax depends on the currency you're renting your apartment in. So if it's a Turkish lira that you receive your rental income in, and it's stated within a tenant agreement, then the applicable rate is only 8%. Whereas if it's any European type of currency, such as euros, dollars, and pounds, then the applicable rate would be 13%. Last but not least, my dear friends, of course, is the taxes that you would be expected to pay when buying a property here in Northern Cyprus. And those taxes, they're broken down into few stages, and the compulsory non-avoidable tax rate is 9.5% altogether on the properties that are resale properties when the VAT has been paid already to the developer and to the government. So let me break it down for you. Let's say you buy a property right here in Northern Cyprus. You have to register the contract with the tax office within 21 days, regardless whether it's off-plan or whether it's a resale, it doesn't matter. Within 21 days, you register the contract with the tax office and you would be expected to pay 6.5% tax based on the cadastral value of the property, not the sale price itself. That's very important to note. The remaining 3% would be expected to be paid once you get the permission to transfer the title deed into your name. And again, you go to the tax office, you pay that 3% based on the cadastral value on the current date of your property and get title deed transfer into your name. The 5% VAT would be expected to be paid if it's an off-plan property that you're buying from a developer directly, and it's paid preferably at the delivery or even the title deed transfer into your name. And again, that 5% VAT is based on the cadastral value. Or if it's a brand new resale and the initial owner has not paid that tax just yet. So that it's going to be passed on to you basically as a new owner. But if it's a resale, let's say of 5 years of age or 10 years of age, if the title deed of that property is already on the owner's name, then that VAT would have been already paid and you wouldn't need to pay it a second time. What would I like to say in conclusion, my dear friends, is that Northern Cyprus does offer clear tax advantages to the foreign investors. And if you're considering to invest in Northern Cyprus, you can book a non-binding consultation with me where we will discuss your goals and create a strategy tailored to your situation. Thank you so much for watching, my dear friends. Please do not forget to subscribe to receive more useful tips about Northern Cyprus and press that like button if you enjoyed watching this. See you in the next video.